Well, hello. Today we're going to talk about parallel and perpendicular lines. Remember, parallel lines, they never touch each other. So they look like this. Parallel lines have the same slope. So an example would be y equals 2x plus 7 and y equals 2x minus 3. They have the same slope. So this is our slope. Remember what's in front of your x, so that's your same slope. Then we're going to talk about perpendicular. Perpendicular, remember, is like an intersection. So they touch each other. Okay, so they're intersecting right here. So remember, their slope is opposite sine and reciprocal of the number. So when I'm saying opposite signed, that means if it's a positive, then it becomes a negative. Reciprocal of the number means that if it's 2, it becomes 1/2. So this would be an example, 2 to 1/2. Okay, so opposite reciprocal. So an example, y equals 3x plus 1, and y equals a negative opposite sign of the 3 and reciprocal, which is 1/3 x minus 4. Okay, that's opposite reciprocals. So opposite number, opposite sign, reciprocal of the number. All right, so then what I want us to do here is I want us to decide if these are going to be parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So remember, if they're going to be parallel, they have to have the same slope. If they're going to be perpendicular, they're going to have opposite reciprocal slopes. So then, as you can tell, that they're not solved for y. So we're going to want to solve for y. So I left you space there. So I need you to solve for y on both of these. Kind of got that close together. So on this first one, I'm subtracting 2x. That cancels. I get y equals negative 2x plus 3. So then if I'm wanting to see if this is going to be parallel, then I would want this slope to be the same. But you can see right off the bat, we're going to add 2x. So now I get y equals 2x plus 7. So I have a negative, which is opposite here because that's positive, but I have a 2, and 2 is not the reciprocal of 2. So then this one is actually neither. Okay? Then let's draw a line here because I kind of ran into my next space here. And this one is a little trickier. So I think on these type, the easiest thing for you to do is to actually draw a picture. So remember how we talked about already that if I have x equals 6, that means I am going on the x-axis 6 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then when I draw that line, it has to go through the x-axis. Okay? So remember, if it's x equals, that it's a vertical line. Then if I draw y equals negative 2, remember, this is my y-axis. So I'm going down on my y-axis to 1, 2, and I'm drawing a line. I don't know why I made it dotted. Drawing a line here. And remember, this is always a horizontal. So y is always a horizontal line. X is always a vertical line. So one way, remember, we talked about horizontal horizon. You're looking across the horizon. So then they intersect at this point right here. So then that means these are perpendicular. Okay, so let's do the last one, and I'm sure some of you are going, oh yeah, I bet this one's going to be parallel. You're probably right, but let's see. So I have negative 5x plus y equals 12. So I'm going to add 5x, add 5x, and that cancels. I get y equals 5x plus 12. Okay, so if I'm wanting it to be parallel, I have a 5 here, so that means my equation would need to have a 5 in as its slope also. So I have x plus y equals 7. All right, well, let's just change this so then that it actually works. Let's make this a negative 5x. So make that a negative 5x. Now, when I actually add that 5x to both sides, I get y equals 5x plus 7. So look, my slopes are the same. Now, they weren't originally, and I was trying to trick you a little bit, but then it probably would be great for you to have an example of parallel. So then these are parallel. So I could ask you a quiz question, you know, maybe just ask a question in class, and I need you to understand when it's neither, when it's perpendicular, and when it's parallel. How do I know that? I kind of got my spacing messed up here, but let's look at this. So remember, I want to know, it says that write an equation of the line through a given point. Is it parallel to the given line, or is it and one that's perpendicular? So what I'm going to need you to do is showing me both of those. So remember, when we do this, we are using this formula. Y minus y equals mx minus x. So some of you are like Miss Hanson, it's y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. You can put those little numbers there if you want. I don't care. But this is how we're going to do it. Okay, so here we go. First thing you're going to do is you're going to find me find me the slope. Okay, so first thing I want you to do is find me the slope. So the slope of this one is 5x plus 2y equals 8, and I have to solve for y. So I'm subtracting 5x from both sides, and I get 2y equals negative 5x plus 8. I have to divide by 2 because I need y by itself. So now I have y equals negative 5 halves x plus 4. Okay, so what is my slope? My slope, to find parallel and perpendicular lines to this one, I have to use this slope. So remember, the first thing you're going to do is find slope. All right, so now, oh man, I'm running out of room here. I need you to find me a parallel, and oh, I guess I have room down here. A parallel and a perpendicular. So I'm going to start with this, and this is going to be my A part, and this is parallel. So for parallel, I'm going to take the point that's given to me and the slope. So a parallel slope is exactly the same. And then the point is 5/3. 5/3, sorry, 5 and 3. All right, so now I'm going to find the slope for that. So remember, y minus y equals mx minus x. So I have my slope, so that's my m, so that's going to go here, and then this is my x and y. So y minus 3 equals negative 5/3 x minus 5. Now, I have to have y by itself, so I'm going to first distribute the 5/3. Oh, you guys, I'm so sorry. This is supposed to be a 2, 5/2. So I'm going to distribute the 5/2. So y minus 3 equals negative 5/2 x plus, what you guys can do is plug that in your calculator. Negative 5/2 times a negative 5 is going to give you 25/2. Now you're going to add 3. Once again, you're going to use your calculators. You're going to add 3 to that. I get y equals negative 5/2 x plus 31/2. So that is my parallel line. Y equals negative 5/2 x plus 31/2. So you guys can use your calculators on that. And so then the second thing we're going to do is we have to find our perpendicular. So I'm going to go down here, B, and this is our perpendicular one. So you're using the same slope. No, we're not. We're not using the same slope. Remember, it has to be opposite. So opposite, it'd be positive, and then 2/5. But you are using the same point. Okay, so remember to flip that. So now you get y minus y equals mx minus x, and I plug in. So y minus 3 equals 2/5 x minus 5. Distribute that, I get y minus 3 equals 2/5 x minus 2. I add 3, I get y equals 2/5 x plus 1. So up here you're going to write y equals 2/5 x plus 1. All right, so what I want you to do is I want you to work the second one. I'm going to pause the video, I'm going to work it, and then I'll reveal the answer here in a second. Okay, so I know you guys come back and then all of a sudden now you have an answer for the second one, but I didn't want to spend our time on video just doing that. So now you can, remember, go back and pause that if you need to look over that, check your answers, make sure you did it correct. And then remember, if you guys have any questions, come with them to class tomorrow. Remember, parallel lines have the exact same slope. Perpendicular, opposite reciprocal, opposite sign, number flipped over. So if it's a 2, it becomes a 1/2. If it's 3/2, it becomes 2/3. You guys have a great day, and I will see you soon.